Okay guys, so here we are with the old motor here. This is the one that we blew up on Trek, and it has a lot of new parts and a lot of good things on it, and some essentials that I actually need for the other motor, like the harness, since they entirely cut the other one from the JDM importer, plenum gasket that's on here for added power, and all my silicone hoses, the headers that I've already wrapped. So there's a number of things that I'm going to take off here, and I'm going to try and do that real quick before we lose some daylight. I am shooting this directly after the last video that you would have watched, where we were tearing down the new motor to add these parts to. So I couldn't really do much more of that without kind of tearing into this. So that is what I'm going to go ahead and do now. So let's jump into it while we have a little bit of daylight. Okay, there we have it. There's our spacer and its gasket along with the intake plenum there, and it's kind of fused to it a little bit right now, but you can see how much cleaner that is in the old one. And that's because this thing hardly has any miles on it since the last time I pulled it and cleaned it. You can see that there's oil pulled up here, so that's awesome. That's definitely what we want to see in your intake, huh? Wow. Yeah, you can see on the other side here too, it looks pretty milky. So, definitely did a number on this thing. Gotta stress test it, huh? Gotta get out there and see how well those 20-something-year-old almost motors are. So, what I need now is to pull this off, and then we've got that aramid gasket that I was talking about under here. We'll see if that's in good shape, and I'll reuse it, because it's like 40 bucks, and if it looks fine, I'm just going to run it again. Oh, wow. I'm realizing now that that's not just oil and coolant in there or water. There are bits of the block all the way up in the intake. Two big chunks here. Wow. Tons of shavings too. Hopefully this comes through. That is crazy. Well, if I didn't say it before, I'll say now, she's fooked. Yeah, bad signs of damage up here, and we'll have to look in the block and see just exactly what happened. But yeah, this thing is pretty nasty. And that brings me to the upper plenum here, the cover. So pretty clean, like I said, but what we need is this spacer here, which has kind of fused itself to this thing. So I'm gonna have to kind of pry that off a little bit. Of course, be careful because you don't want to mar that surface. Still want it to seal correctly in there, but I'm gonna pull that off so we can use it on the new motor. And that's good for, most Z people will know this since it's a common mod, but this will space up the plenum enough for more airflow through this essentially. Kind of helps these runners breathe a little bit, from my understanding. It's kind kind of constricted. Okay guys, now that we have all the wiring harness off, we're going to go ahead and take these silicone hoses off and just some of the other stuff we might want from this motor. Maybe a few of the sensors, maybe some of the brackets and the pulleys and such. Definitely like the coil packs, the solenoids, all that. So I'm going to start to really just tear this thing down. That way we can have parts for the new motor and then backup parts for the future as well. Okay. It's a tad bit oily in there. Oh. Clean. 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 Oh. That first cylinder there is not looking so hot with all that oil coming out. It'll be interesting to tear that part down. A lot of the stuff on this motor is actually going to be really good. Like, you know, there's a lot of gaskets in here that are virtually just about, you know, like a year old or so. All these hoses are in great shape. Of course, they're silicone. I opted for some ones that would last for a while. Be a lot easier to pull like that. Oh yeah, I forgot I had a Mishimoto radiator thermostat. Or thermostat. Actually, pretty easy to work on for the most part. Especially once it's out of the car, I suppose. It's not really too difficult of a motor. You know, I mean, the biggest constraint is the space when it's in the car. But once it's off, it's not so bad. I mean, it's still a Nissan. Now, the timing system is a little complicated because it's behind all these layers of, you know, timing cover cases here with miles of RTV and stuff, and that's kind of a pain, but it's not really difficult per se. It's just kind of a lot. There we go. There's the flubber juice. Probably gonna put my dog inside. I want him to drink this up. I don't trust him. Alright guys, there we have it. Pretty much everything is off this motor now. And I kept all the hardware with everything because I'm going to go through and organize it and make sure that everything is labeled and put in a bag. That way I know what it is and what it's for. So you can see all this stuff came off that old motor. It can all be reused. It's all in good shape. So I'm going to hang on to a lot of this stuff for the future in case I ever need it, but some of it will go on the new motor. And as for the old motor, you can see, there's where we punched a block into her. Wish we had a little more light here, but I'll do a little more digging probably later on. But yeah, you can see she's punched out pretty good there. So I'm going to take the valve covers off too. Those have pretty new gaskets in them. Probably hang on to those. I actually ordered new ones for the other motor, even though I said I wasn't going to. But I'll save those, you know, for a rainy day or in case anyone needs them. But For now, those are going to stay on just a little bit longer. It's getting dark. I need to go ahead and start wrapping everything up. Alright guys, I want to thank you all for watching and tuning in to another episode here. This has been a real dream car of mine throughout the years, and I'm happy to have it. I'm a little saddened by the fact that I blew the motor, but you just can't let that kind of thing hold you back. At the end of the day, it can be fixed. Just a lot of time and patience and effort. You know, just working towards something slowly but steadily. We're gonna figure it out. We'll get it fixed. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really glad to have you guys here. If you're new here, welcome. We've got a really great array of other videos that you guys should definitely check out if you like this kind of stuff. In the next episode, you're gonna see me starting to put the new motor together. And yeah, just thank you guys so much for watching, and feel free to leave a comment, like, subscribe, all of that if you enjoyed this. Tell us if you didn't. Alright guys, we'll see you in the next episode.